So the answer for that was 311.625 meters. All right. So you need to make sure that you include that it's 311.625 meters. Okay. So again, let's go through how we get full credit for our problems. We need to include a formula. We need to include a substitution with units. And we need to include an answer with units. A couple little tidbits and tips. You would not need to show units in your substitutions if you did what we did previously, which is write down all our values and list the units. Technically, you can get away with just substituting in numbers here. That would be acceptable, but you would have to write this out, okay? Other little tips and tricks. Because V naught is 0, this entire term is 0. So you could show that with that line through it and a 0 up at the top, in which case you would not need to sub in. Over here, you could just show the 1/2 AT squared portion of the formula. That's also acceptable. I always get questions on rounding. So, Mr. Burkhart, how am I going to round properly for this answer? Well, you'll notice that it's 311.625 meters. By now, you guys should have a good idea of what a meter stick is, right? It's about the distance between the floor and a doorknob. So if that's the case, and it's the distance between a floor and a doorknob, and I have 311 of them, I'm not really going to sweat the last 1/2 meter or so, or 2/3 of a meter that are available, right? So you could technically drop off that 6.25 and just have 311 meters, and as long as you showed me your work, I'd have an idea what you did. Now, if that's too nervy for you, you could also have rounded this to 0.63, or you could have also rounded this to 0.6. I wouldn't round it up to 0.7, but I also, wouldn't care if you dropped it. Like, there's a little bit of common sense allowed here as far as where's a good place to round, because we're not using significant figures. Okay, so that's the end of part 2 for how to get full credit on a physics problem. Check out the solutions to the stress tests that I posted. If you guys are remote and you're at home and you don't get to go through it with me, if you have questions. And when you start working on your homework problems that I've assigned, start trying to use some of these techniques. Don't read the problem in full. Try to practice formula, substitution with units, answer with units, because your next quiz, that is how you're being graded. Okay? Have a good one.